The deeper consequences of this coronavirus are really starting to show. With BNZ, as you probably know from this week, predicting a recession. ANZ also said you watch their report as well. They'll predict this very shortly. Share markets around the world have plummeted, and some employees have had their jobs axed here in New Zealand as well. So what does this mean for our housing market, which I thought was starting to show some green shoots, just starting to look good? Is it a good time to buy property? Hold, sell, sold. What do we do? Joining us now, Property Apprentice's Debbie Roberts. Hello, Debbie.
Good morning.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see
you. look so bright and happy. And what's going on?
Well, my husband Paul and I were talking about this last night, and we were like, "You can't write this stuff." You know, if we were trying to come up with the ideal scenario for a good time to buy property,
It's now.
It would be when there's less competition from other buyers, cheap lending, so low interest rates, high demand from tenants if you're buying a rental property. But I mean, you know, and all of these things are here right now. It's like, what are people waiting for?
Are prices going to drop?
I think probably not as much as some people might think. You know, and one of the reasons for that is that it's different this time. Oh, that sounds bad. But it's not the same sort of financial climate as it was before the global financial crisis.
No, this is not a money crisis. This is a supply crisis.
Yeah.
This is a crisis of movement and supply, which is a confidence crisis.
I think it's a crisis of confidence, absolutely. So, you know, with the global financial crisis, heading into that, interest rates were really high. And so when the recession
10%.
People were hit hard. You know, people that lost their jobs couldn't afford to pay their mortgage anymore. Whereas now, with interest rates around the 3 or 4% mark, it's a lot more affordable now than it was pre-GFC.
Dropping. And there's still some headroom for interest rates to come down. Except I would say that a lot of New Zealanders are on the fixed rate. So if you move the rate down, it won't have an impact.
No, but I mean, a lot of people are also on a short-term fixed interest rate. So, you know, if interest rate... And there's no guarantee that the banks will pass on those decreased interest rates.
We've seen that.
Yeah, so I think this year... And, I mean, don't forget, I haven't got any property to sell, so I'm not trying to flog off any dodgy deals or anything. But it's like this year, I think it's a perfect storm as far as good opportunities to be buying property, because we've got a general election this year, which always slows down the property market, especially when there's a lot of talk around housing. I mean, there's a bit of talk around housing.
Election years always have confidence slumping.
Exactly.
I'm picking that this hysteria will actually pass quickly, and things will bounce back quickly off the back of this. Now, let's say worst case scenario, your business is affected by a downturn, you lose your job, but the banks will give you holidays, won't they? They'll look after you to a certain extent.
To a certain extent.
So how long will they generally give you a holiday from having to meet your repayment obligations?
Yeah, I think it's one of the things that Tony Alexander, who's the previous chief economist at the BNZ, it's one of the things he's been talking about recently, is if you're having issues with cash flow in business, talk to the bank sooner rather than later. You know, so banks do want to help you through this thing, because it's not good for anyone.
But they want to hear from you. And
they want to hear from you.
They want you to pick up the phone. Don't ignore them.
Yep, exactly. So, you know, I think there's a lot of help out there for people that do need it. And the fact that the interest rates are as low as they are at the moment is certainly going to help through this recession.
We better dash. Good advice, though. Good advice. Now's the time to have a bit of a poke around. Good stuff. That is Debbie Roberts from Property Apprentice. We are 14 minutes away.